Welcome friends to One Stop Java Solution. I am Snehasis and today I am going to explain the iteration statement in Java. Okay. So in the first two videos I already described the while loop and do while loop. Okay. Today I am going to explain the for loop. Okay. So generally as I told that iteration statement we are using to perform the repetitive task. Okay. So here for loop also we are using for the same purpose. Here one yeah, here we use for loop, means when we are using for loop. Okay, so means I'm going to Eclipse and I will show you. So if you know the number of iteration, okay, means how many times of iteration you have to perform. If you know the number previously, then for loop is the better way. Okay, so for loop there is basically the two version, means the traditional for loop, means from the beginning of the Java what we are using, that is the one thing, and another one is the for each loop. Okay, so for each loop is the new version of the for loop, so that is the difference. So today I am discussing about the traditional form of for loop. Okay, so for traditional form of for loop, here, okay, first I am writing a project here. Inside src I am creating a class. Okay, so here I am creating a new class, Java class. Okay, and giving the name as for loop demo. For loop demo. Okay. Okay. So here I have material for loop demo. Okay, and inside that I am writing public static void main. Public static void main string args, and inside that I am writing, suppose I am showing you the means form of the for loop. Okay, for statement. So here if I writing a for loop, so for there is a three part of a for loop. Okay, so instead of writing anything I am just writing three. Okay, so three. Hmm. So this is also this is the first part. Okay, so first part I means just kept blank. So there is a three part. First part is the initialization part. Okay, second part is the condition, and third is the iteration. So here it is the initialization. First one is the initialization part. Initialization part. Second one is the condition part. Okay, condition part, and third one is the iteration part. Iteration part. Okay, so there are three part here. So initialization, condition, and iteration, and how it will work, how the for loop will work. So you have to, means the initialization part of the loop will execute fast. So once control goes here, this for loop, and then first the initialization part will execute. Okay, so generally this is an expression that set the value of the loop control variable. Okay, so we have to set one, means we have to take one loop control variable that will control the loop, means how many times this loop will execute. Okay, so that is the first part. So that is the initialization expression. Okay, so this, so the means control the loop control variable. Okay, and next is the condition. So first this part will execute, and this part will execute once, means while you are entering into the for loop, at the first time it will, this part will execute. Okay, so in our normal case, suppose I am writing another for loop for, so how we are writing, int I equal to suppose 0. Okay, I less than 5 and I plus plus. So this is the means form of a for loop. Okay, so this is the initialization part, first part. The second part is the condition part. So means I is 0, this is the initialization, means first time it will set the values of I with 0 value, and then it will check the condition part. Okay, and then suppose I am printing something. So okay, I am printing the values of I inside the loop. Okay, so if I print here, suppose I, okay, values of I. So how it will work? So first time, while the loop means the control goes to this for loop, so first time it will execute this initialization statement I equal to 0 first time, and then it will check if I equal to less than. So if you initialize the values of I with 6, so then it will goes to here to check I less than 5. Okay, if I less than 5, then if this condition will satisfy, so this condition will return one boolean value. Okay, if this boolean value is true, then it will allow you to enter into this for loop. Okay, it's clear. So so here I am initialize I with 6, and then I am trying to means it will check the condition, and I 6 is less than 5. No, so false, it will not allow you to enter into the loop. So in that case, this loop will not execute for a single time. Okay, so not for a single time it will execute. Then suppose I am change it to 0, so then it's true, 0 is less than 5, it's true, so that it allow you to goes inside the loop, so it will execute the print statement. Okay, and then second time it will start execution from this part, means iteration. So now current value of I is 0, so it will increment I with 1. So I equal to I plus plus means like this, I equal to I plus 1. So I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So what it will do, it will increment the i's value with 1. So current I value is 1, so 1 is less than 5. Yes, it's true. Okay, so 1 is less than 5, that is true, so it will allow you to enter into the loop. So it will print the second value of I, means 1. Okay, then again it goes to this part. So it's clear that first time only this initialization part will execute. After that it will start execution from here, and from the iteration to then condition. If condition satisfied, then it go enter into the loop. Okay, so it's clear. So like this way it will work. Okay, and also here I means if I remove this, so you can write the blank statement. So this is basically a infinite loop. This is also a valid syntax. Okay, this is a infinite loop. Here you can do what you will do. So it, as it is an infinite loop, so you are using the IDE, so it's give you the compilation error, because if this loop execute infinitely, then it never comes to this. So this is a dead code. Okay, basically this is a dead code, so that's why it's giving error. So here inside here I write something like that, int I equal to 0. Okay, and here I am writing I plus plus. Every time it will I plus plus, and here I am writing I if I less than 5. Now if I equal to 5, then break. Okay, so this is a valid. So I, instead of writing anything inside the for statement, I am writing everything in the means body of the for loop. Okay, so inside body of, so this is a valid statement. So here what it will check, if I value is 5, then it will break means it will goes out the control, over means switch out from the for loop. Okay, so goes out of the for loop. So here also if you print something, suppose I am printing i's value only. Okay, I equal to 0, and I am incrementing this after this statement. Okay, and here also I am printing values of I. So here you can write okay, here I have changed this as x, and here also x plus plus. Okay, and here I am writing x colon plus x. Okay, so I am printing the x value, and here also I am writing plus I. So basically what I am doing, I am just printing the i's value and x value, nothing else. So if I execute this, okay, so here you can see it's int. Okay, so you have to declare this. Okay, it's an infinite loop because every time you are initializing I equal to 0, so this thing you have to do outside this loop. Okay, otherwise it will every time it will initialize I, because in for loop case initialization statement will execute once, but here you are not means maintaining the for statement. Okay, the form of for statement. Okay, so you are doing everything inside the for loop. So if you initialize the I value inside the for loop, then every time it will create a new variable I and it will initialize I value is 0 and it will never reach to I equal to 5. Okay, so that's why you can see here it's I equal to 0, it's printing only I equal to 0 and it's going a infinite loop. Okay, so you have to initialize this outside of this loop. So now if you execute, then here you can see the first loop I, it prints 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so because you have printed I equal, if I value is 5, then it will break. Okay, so once I equal to 5, then it reach means come to this statement I equal to 5, and if satisfied then it will break, means it goes out from the for loop. Okay, and in the second case you can see, in the second case you can see for x equal to 0, so I have started from 0, then in the similar way it print the x value. So it first check 0 less than 5, yes it's true, so it's print that value. Then x plus plus, so x value should be 1, would be 1, and it will check 1 less than equal to 5, yeah it's true, so then it's print this statement. And like this way, once it reach to 4, then 4 less than 5, it's also true, so that will print the 4, and then it will goes here, and then the value of the x will be 5, and 5 less than 5, no it's false, so at that time it will goes out from the for loop. Okay, so this is the traditional for loop. And for each loop, what we will do for each loop, you can means here you can see, if you know the how many times, here you can see I have mentioned that this loop will execute 5 times. Okay, because it starts from 0 and less than 5, that means it will execute 5 times. So here you can see 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so 5 times this loop will execute. And in for the first case also you can see I equal to 5, that means 0 to 5, that means 6 times. So here you can see the loop will execute 6 times. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 times it will execute. So for loop you have to know the number of iteration, okay, previously. So in some cases, suppose you are trying to means extract the digit of a number from a number. Okay, so suppose 1 to 3, that is a number, so you have to extract the digit like 1 then 2 then 3, so 3 digit. So in such cases, if you don't know the number, means how many times this loop will iterate, okay, in that case you have to use either do while or sorry, either while loop or do while loop. Okay, so because you don't know the number of iterations, so in such cases do while and do while or do while loop is the best choice. But if you know the number of iteration, okay, then you can use the for loop. So here you can loop, because if you give the 1 to 3, then it will extract 1 2 and 3. If you give 1 2 3 4 5, then it will extract 1 then 2 then 3 then 4 then 5. So as according to your input, based on your input, the number of loops will execute. Okay, so in that case you cannot predict previously how many times the loop will iterate. Okay, so in that case either do while or while loop is the best choice. But if you don't know the number of, if you know the iteration, means suppose here you can see I have assumed that the loop will iterate 5 times, so in that case I can use for loop. Okay, and the latest version of the for loop, that is the for each loop, that also means for there also you don't know the number of iterations. Okay, so suppose I am writing here int, I am taking an array. Okay, y is the integer type array, Okay, and here I am giving some values, means directly assign some values, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so I am assigning few values with this array, and then I am using the for each loop. So here if I use for the syntax of the for each loop, for, then what kind of value it will return. Okay, so this y is containing some integer values. So here what I will take int, suppose I am giving that you can say anything, jet. Okay, and here you have to give the colon, and then the means as a for here I am writing that num, so y. Okay, so this is a y is my array, so inside y, so what this loop will do, each and every time it will take a values from the y array and it will initialize, means it will assign this value to z. Okay, it will assign the value to z, and then if you write here that, suppose I am printing z value here. Okay, and print z. So if you execute this, here you can see 1 2 3 4 5. So z value is 1. So first time what it will do, means the for each loop, this is the syntax, that the type. Okay, type of the iteration variable, here iteration variable is an integer type, and this is the collection. Basically the second part you have to use a collection. So every time it will, from the collection it will take the first values and it will assign to the, so you can take anything, means here I am taking it as an integer, so you can write, means you can take as a string as input here. Okay, or give the other character, anything, or any object also you can use here. So this should be a part of the collection, so that I will explain later, means what is the collection and the variable and what is it. So this iteration variable receives value from the collection basically. Okay, so what is the iteration variable here is date, and what is the collection value, that is the integer type, so it will take an integer value from the collection and put it into the jet, and every iteration of I am printing that value. Okay, so z I am printing. So here also you can see, means how many types, instead of 5 if you write here 1, if you increase, also I kept the 6 here. Okay, and if you execute here once again, so here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6. So whatever value inside the collection, it will take one by one and it will keep this value into the loop control variable. Okay, that is the iteration variable, and I am printing that iteration variable here. Okay, so here also you don't know, means at the beginning of the code you means don't bother about the size of the collection or how many times the loop or loop will iterate. Okay, that you don't, means you don't have to bother about this. Okay, so this also the means good, means like the while loop, what we do for the while loop or do while loop, the same thing we can do here, but in while loop we are not using any collection, there we are using only the means normal variable. Okay, normal expression that will either return true or false. Okay, so normal boolean expression, and the return type of the expression should be boolean, but in case of for each loop you can use any collection plus. Okay, so that is the thing. I guess you understand what is the for loop, what is the for each loop, and what is the difference, means when you using while loop or do while loop or for loop or for each loop. Okay, so I guess it's understandable. Okay, so thanks for watching this video, and also subscribe my channel and click on the bell button. Okay, so that once I upload the next video you will get the notification.